Hello, Mark. I'm Estelle, and the name of the article is One Death All Out Fight for Son After Mom extradites him to China. Brian made with his son Alex, now 5, who was taken to China by his mom almost a year ago. Photo Brian made. It's been nearly a year since Brian made, a Utah information technology worker and a former U.S. Marine, waved goodbye to his son Alex at the airport. The boy, then 4, was on his way to China with his mother, May's ex-wife Yuna, to visit family in his mother's homeland. They were due to return in 45 days but never made it back. May knew right then that his biggest fear had come true. Yuna had successfully carried out an international parental abduction. I took them to the airport, and I feel like a complete buffoon for letting that happen, May 34 tells Yahoo Parenting, his voice thick with guilt. She was much more conniving than I gave her credit for. Thus began May's new reality, spending every bit of energy on trying to bring his son back home from Dalian, Yuna's hometown, where the two have been living with her parents since May 2014. It's been a frustrating, labyrinth, upsetting fight and has so far involved the U.S. State Department, the FBI, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the Chinese Central Authority, lawyers, and the Netherlands-based mediation firm, all to no avail. May's efforts have put him to severe debt, as he's already spent more than 50,000 fighting for Alex's return, in addition to about 58,000 for his divorce, wiping out his retirement account. Now he's launched an online crowd rights campaign, hope to raise enough money to continue his legal battle. But the emotional part has been the roughest, particularly since May has seen Alex just briefly during this whole time, for a few days in October, when he went to see his son for what's been their only visit since Yuna, known in the US as Nina, took him to China. I hugged him before I left. I was holding him in my arms and saying goodbye. May recalls. It was the most stressful, difficult thing I ever had to do in my life. I feel like an idiot, like I let her play me. About how living without Alex has affected his existence. He says this impacts me every single day. Alex made just 4 days before he was taken to China. Photo Brian made. Knowing exactly where his son is and not being able to do anything about it has been particularly difficult. Sometimes May says Yuna allows him to Skype with Alex. I tell him I love him, I miss him, that I hope he can come soon. May says, adding that Alex no longer speaks English and appears to only be interested in watching TV and playing games on his iPad, even when they are on a Skype call together. He worries about how Yuna has explained his absence to Alex and about how he doesn't seem to be attending school. Yuna didn't respond to an email from Yahoo Parenting requesting her a side of the story. It's awful, this poor little kid. Jill Coy, Miss Utah-based divorce attorney, tells Yahoo Parenting. She explains that while allowing Yuna to travel to China with her son was a stipulation that they eventually agreed to in the divorce agreement, it was one she and May had great reservation about. This was definitely a big fear of his, but his ex-wife wasn't going to stop fighting for it. So it was either we go to trial, fight it all the way for $25,000, or come up with something we felt was safe enough. So they put safeguards in place, Coip explains, which included having Yuna sign a notarized statement saying that Alex was a U.S. citizen and that he was to be raised in Utah, requiring that she purchase a round-trip ticket for their travel, having her put out the title of her car as collateral, and also requiring that Alex a temporary visa which would expire, which it has. Now she says, my client has spent so much money, has tried everything, and everyone has left him hanging. The crux of the problem with getting help from officials in this case is involvement of China, which is not a party of the Home Abduction Convention, a treaty that many countries have joined in order to provide a shared civil remedy among partner countries to work toward the best interest of an abducted child. Brian met with Yuna and Alex before the divorce photo Brian made. Unfortunately, for some of the non-home countries, there may be some challenges and difficulties. Maureen had a supervisor in the Missing Child Division of the National Center of Missing Exploited Children, tell Yahoo Parenting. One problem, she says, is that those countries, including China, won't recognize U.S. custody orders. Other challenges. Filing international abduction charge against Yuna with the Justice Department could potentially force her into hiding. Many say he was advised. Her involvement would be difficult since there is no extradition treaty between the U.S. and China. But all cases vary widely, she says, and even when she seems hopeless, things can turn on a dime. I've seen situations in which it seems nothing can be done, but things change day to day, she says. The parent may want to negotiate. The parent may want to come back. The parent may want to travel. In March, the FBI was able to start an attempting parental abduction to China when the date in the U.S. alerted authorities that his wife had just boarded an airplane to China with their 4-year-old son. He had been outed via email by his wife. The plane was turned around 4 hours into its journey from Washington, D.C. to the boy's mother was arrested. She now faces up to 3 years prison. That father doesn't know how lucky he is, May says. Like the parents in the thwarted kidnapping case, May and his ex-wife have joint legal custody for their child, but now he and Coy have submitted a petition to modify the decision. To have Yuna serve with the petition, they've had to go through the Chinese Central Authority and are prepared for it to take up to 9 months. If Yuna doesn't respond within the required 20 days, May can get a sole custody order, but China may or may not accept it. May met Yuna in 2003 in Tokyo, where he was on vacation while was stationed in the Marine Corps in Okinawa, and Yuna, a Chinese national, was attending college on a student visa. The two became a couple, and May got a job at a naval base off the coast of Tokyo. They eventually married, having Alex on U.S. military property, making him an American citizen in 2009. The family relocated to Utah when Maid found an IT job there in 2012. From there, the situation began to devolve. There was there were disagreements about how to raise Alex, particularly around medical issues, and Yuna's belief that their son needed a battery of tests and Chinese herbal treatments. She was like a hyper, hyper, hypochondriac, hypochondriac, but for him, Maid explained. He felt He filed for divorce as well as a police report and an order protection. When he says Yuna tries to stab him, that after they were separated, local police charged her for child neglect after a neighbor reported Alex walking alone in a busy street while Yuna was out grocery shopping. May provided Yahoo Parenting with documents relating to each incident. May said that once Yuna had gone to China, she told him that the child neglect charge made him afraid to come back to the USA. He convinced police to drop the charge, but Yuna remained where she was. That's when I realized it doesn't matter what I say or do, says Maid, who is now willing to move to China. She's only convinced with what's best for her, not our son. These days, he's moving forward as best as he can, but he misses the time he had spent with Alex. We play Legos and Hot Wheels and go to the playground and the museum. May says, every Saturday was our day. Now the dad finds weekends particularly lonely, especially if he stays at home, where Alex's room is set up and waiting for him, and where still bought Christmas presents for his son sitting in a basement. I will never give up this fight, he says. Bye, Mark.